Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. My bad. What's up? What are we doing? Oh, my chair is so wonky here. Okay. Okay, I can make that work. Joseph, what's up? Chris, what's up, buddy? How we doing? So, I think I have maybe pushed it too much with how much content I'm trying to keep up with. And I can't. I'm gonna have to like cut some out so I can bring new in, and it's gonna be a bit of a mixture. Maybe some of the big ones we don't talk about as much, but I feel like those ones we talk about because it's more relatable, more people watch them. So I don't know. We'll see. We're just playing it as it is. So we'll see how it goes. Alive and kicking. Doing okay? How you doing? Cool. Cool. I'm doing all right. Just the aftermath of Christmas. I got a new blower, which is pretty sick. Um, I've used the new blower that people have, and I don't know if it's as strong as my old one. So I'm curious to do some tests and see see how it acts. I don't really much like a backpack blower. Um, Maybe I would if I tried more of them, but the ones I tried I wasn't the biggest fan of, and it didn't seem like it gave it like it didn't have much power to it. So it was like I'm not that sold on it. This week that thing blows. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. It's it was a gift from my brother. I was stoked on it. So this week was just jam packed full of content. I feel like we had an awesome live feed or random live feed. I think it was Christmas Eve. I think I almost did 7,000, um, which is just wild to me. I don't really know. It may have been just good timing, lucky timing on it, and it did like good for the channel for once. Like a video did good for the channel. But yeah, it was a fun live feed. We I think we did another one just the other night. Maybe it was the day after Christmas, and that one did good. So I think we're like 3.5, maybe 4 on that one. So I'm digging the live feeds. I may just stick to doing live feeds and just do that. Maybe that gives me more of a format to where I can keep up with stuff, and I want to. I'm looking for a way to put out more content, but I just can't give it any more time. I give it too much as it is, so it's like I'm doing that juggle. So this week, I feel like lots of citations are going to need to be wrote. Um, some silly things were done, and I don't know if it's because everybody had their mind on Christmas or what it was, but the law is the law, and just get into it. Car's been warmed up. Let's get in it. Put our seatbelt on. Put our pretty mount me hat on, and click our badge, and get going. I still gotta find a badge. I need a little badge, but and I need like a little flashing lights behind me where I can hit it, and when we get across something that like instant citation alert. Um, we'll start with Gamma Trees. So that's a pretty big YouTube channel, but Gamma Trees, they put out a lot of content. Um, Channel is pretty big. Like they They've done a few collabs with Guilty, and that's grown the channel, I feel like, a lot. And they do a lot of stuff. But the videos I seen this week, the son had he was removing a split tree where the tree had went up. It was a very large tree and it split and started to separate. Apparently, they were already locked in on a contract to come put a cable into it. But before they could put the cable up into it, the tree split in two. So they ratchet strapped it together and he got to work on it. I'm maybe I'm the odd man out here, but what the hell is the deal with the like? Let me show you guys this. So I like just doing demo stuff anyway, but I gotta show you this. So that one's my spikeless ender. I wish I had my other one. It'd be a little cleaner on the setup, but what is it? There it is. Now I got you. All right. So I'll keep talking with you as I set it up because I didn't have anything set up, but I will in just a second. Oh, I did the wrong one. What am I doing? Or no, I didn't. Yeah, I did. My bad. I don't know if I've ever shown how to do that, where you can wrap your ropes up like that. Maybe anybody ever wants to see it, I will. I have this little pulley up here, but it's only hooked to a like 192 or a 191T is what it is. All right, so I see the sun on that, and this is how he's hooked up in the tree. This is how he's going up the tree. So come on now. So he's getting ready to ascend the tree. These guys I think they sell akimbos and stuff. Like, they're really advanced in the way that they climb. And he's hooked up like this, though. It makes no sense to me. And maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys can let me in on it. I don't know. But I had the ticket half writ before I realized, hang on, I gotta at least listen. So I believe he's actually hooked up like this, which is crazy to me because this is what he's using for life support, I think. I as far as I could see. And he's hooked onto his saddle here, and he's like maybe hip thrusting his way up. Oh my god, I forgot about that. I about pulled it out. So this is silly. I know this may be the way that they do it for competition, but if you're set up like this is what you're using to get up into the tree. You go up, go down, okay? This is the way this thing works. There's no, what up, Grandpa? There's no other way that this works. Oh my god. I'm sorry, it's not even in the camera. Jeez, you gotta say something to me sometimes. So, hooked up like this. Hand ascender, and it's clipped straight to his belt. Now, I see them going, they do so much by the book. The son talks about, I've heard him talk about like the older generation. And maybe he's just teasing, and he's just got a dry sense of humor. But he seems to be the type that is the newer, younger generation that think they've just, you could know, like, I feel like I'm kind of in that generation, but I'm the in between. And I felt like that when I really got good. I started feeling like that, and I don't know, maybe that's what it is. But he seems like a really good tree guy. But you can't talk about everybody's hillbilly ways or like um, how old timers, do everything the hard neck way and stuff, but then climb like this. This is goofy, and I don't think it's safe because if I got up there, I'm tied in. This is my climbing setup. I know he has a goofy little. There's like a little thing clipped in above it. To me, looks like a damn uh, micro pulley grabber. It's like a little rope grabber, but it's hooked up. But that thing too, you know what it does? It goes up. It does not come down. So if at any point while you're ascending, you can't come down. Maybe he sets his tie-in like rescue ready so somebody can go over and lower him down. I don't really know. I just feel like this is goofy. Like if you're doing this so that you can practice for a competition, I think at competition they have somebody there spotting the rope and they could lower you if it's rescue ready. I don't know if that's how they set up, but this is silly. This I don't I don't understand it. So I seen the sun and I seen it in the first video, the first part of this tree video. They put out two. So in the first one, I seen this setup, and he showed the ascent, and I was like, that is just goofy to me, especially clipping in down, because on a hand descender, you can actually lock it so that it can't kick out and keep the rope locked into place so you can't jump off the rope by doing that. But clipping down here, you can't. So I don't understand that. I mean, maybe he clips that. I didn't check that close. Maybe he clips that other little rope grab to there, and then clips this. Maybe you could technically. I didn't totally watch. Maybe you could like that, and it could lock it kind of the rope to it. But I don't know. This is goofy though. Like doing this, being set up like this. That's silly. And I feel like it's only to you. I don't know. There's this weird little like niche group in tree climbing that love foot locking, and that's cool. Like that's awesome. I'm I'm not foot locking my way all the way up a tree when I have ascenders and climbing devices, but it looks like maybe they're foot locking up and then going up there and tying in with an akimbo finally and using a climbing device. So I don't get this instant ticket and a couple warnings for just being goofy. So they're already a strike one. Somebody's going to jail for this one sitting down. Let's keep going. All right. So I don't hand ascender. So the sun does seem to be like a really good tree climber, though. I was watching him rig out the tree, and he's pretty damn good. I watch him swing big chunks. I don't know if like I see a lot of guys that have the intentions of tip tying a tree limb, but when they go to do the tip tie, they don't go far enough. And I know probably most of the time like what my opinion would be of why they wouldn't, because they're afraid of going out there, or they're afraid that piece won't hold. Let me at least draw this looking at it. Sorry I was a little late. I had to go to the store, and then I go to grab my pizza afterwards, and they're behind. I'm sitting there waiting. I do the same thing every week. So I'm sitting there waiting. Finally, the girl comes over to me and she's like, "Oh yeah, yours is yeah. It just came out. It's right there." So it's like been sitting there the whole time. Probably cold by then. I don't really care as long as I get it. But I usually, even if I'm picking up my pizza, I'm gonna tip well. So I always tip really well, and I think they've even wrote it on the thing to the point that like even the new people will instantly grab my pizza, run it over to me, and I'm like, oh, cool. Um, yeah, that does. I did. So that's how you like a video is just double tapping the screen when it's a live feed. I always went through and found the. I thought you had to like find the like, but that's cool. That makes it much easier because I didn't even know how people were liking videos unless you turned it back the other way, and then you could see it. But what was I? What the hell was I just talking about? Damn it! I shouldn't get off topics. You can't eat that much, hamburger, and then come out here and not remember what you're doing and have a complete brain fart on video. So that part is I can't even like rewind it just to listen to what I was saying. Let me see. What was I on? I don't know. I don't know. Just wanted to make sure this chat is working. Yeah. We're taking it slow. Tip tide. Now I remember. Oh, Tom. Tom came in, saved the day. You the man, Tom. Damn. Thank you. So, we're tip tying. Let's make it interesting. You gotta give me a second so I can do my amazing artwork. Problem is, it takes all that time, and then you guys are like, what the hell did that take that much time for? When you see it. But thank you again, Tom. So, when people tip tie, they they always, I just see all the time where they'll go with their rope. Okay? So from here, it would be even nice if you get it up there, but um, they take the rope down, and if you're going to take this whole limb here, um, first thing I would be concerned about is what's here, because I'm probably going to do it a bit different to where it's almost, I kind of like a trap door cut, where what happens is the bottom falls out and the tip stands up, but you have to have height below it to do it. But I see when guys they hook up and they're hooking up like maybe that may be a little much, but maybe they're hooking up right there, okay? And they're thinking that's enough butt weight here that when I cut it off, it's gonna tip tie, but it's too close to the balance point. So instead of doing that, my suggestion would be to, if you only trust that that's strong enough to make it and do the tip tie, I would still come out here and hook up, maybe here even, and I would half hitch until I get myself down to this. And for those that like don't understand what I'm saying, what you would do is just take the rope, go to connect it where it's coming here, or let's say it's coming from over here. I would hook up and I would half hitch like that, over the top, and then I would do that multiple more times until I got down. This is hard to do with one hand. Until I got down to where I needed. You know, half hitch, half hitch, half hitch, all the way down to where you got multiple of them. But what happens is you're actually holding at the first half hitch there. So I guess I could have just done that, but it's holding at the first half hitch point, and you're going to get all the benefits of being out there, but you still get that connection point where you're worried. But you can put it out there a little further, just run a half hitch from where you would like. So I would run the rope probably there, and then maybe I'll run a half hitch and then actually connect it somewhere in here. But what happens is this will actually, if you can make the cut, what I'll do is I cut straight down into the piece, into the side, and what's happening is that that limb's pretty like stationary at the time if you've got the rope tight, because you got that tip weight and you've lifted it up a little bit. So I will cut, a little over halfway. I'll make my halfway cut all the way through it, and I'll show it like on one of these stickers. So I would make the cut all the way down to about right here. Then I would turn my saw sideways and I would cut into it this way, and then the only thing holding is the quarter here that's left the direction I want the limb to go. So if I wanted it to go this way, I would go halfway down it, then I would come in from this way, or I would go halfway down it and come in this way if I'm wanting to go that way. But what'll happen is it's basically going to become stationary for a little bit. This piece is going to swing itself out here. And this piece is coming straight in. So it acts like a false door, and you make the cut here and it drops off and stands up. And you just need to make sure you have the low enough space to do that. You could put a notch on top. I see guys and they winch on it and pull it up. I don't much like using the winching technique a bunch, because you always put that ground guy in that like no zone where it's being lifted and disconnected, because he has to work the winch. So I avoid a lot of those. But yeah, you could bring that. So this would drop down faster or slower and like stand up quicker the further out you get here. So if you get into like, maybe I connected here instead, it's just not going to drop out as quick, and it's going to stand up a little more cockeyed. But to get that straight up and down, you really, for most of them, you got to be quite a ways out there. What's up, Peter? But yeah, I make that cut. I see August use that cut where he'll cut in, and then finish. Especially when you have that weight lifted up by a pre-tension on the rope. When you go down and you come into the side, you can finish that last quarter off pretty easy, and then pull out with the bar, and it'll like shoot that piece down. But the thing you got to remember as a climber, you're usually going to be like right in this area. Well, when this drops down, this comes to you. So like I'll use this technique if I have like, okay, if there's a house right here, I'll use that technique, because I know that, okay, the lowering point is going to be in towards the tree here. I have all the space down here. I can't go end over because I'm going to go into the house, but I could pre-tension out here with the rope and then make that fast cut where you go down, in, and out after pre-tension. And what's going to happen is it's going to drop out. This is all going to swing in too. Like the whole thing's going to come in, but you have to, sometimes the bottom will swing out a little further out. So it'll be, the furthest it goes is going to depend on how you made the cut. In these situations, you almost like, the ground guy does not want to start to lower until the butt weight completely drops off, and then this comes in away from the house, because this is then when this goes down, this is going to come in. And instead of going down hitting the house, it's just going to go whoop, straight in. So I use that technique often, or like if I need to get a branch out and back here, I'll do that. Like I'll I'll have the lowering point like further over this way, and really go out there on it and shoot that limb in, um, and get it to come back in like away from whatever's down here, and then we usually can lower it. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. I just see a lot of guys when they tip tie, they end up being stuck in that balancing position, and a limb needs so much more space to lower when it's stuck in. Then it, if you have it tip tied, it comes down, needs very, you can grab a hold of the butt of the limb and move it out. If it comes down end over, you're going to have to accept the brush first, and it's going to need a little more, it'll be a little harder to get a hold of, but easier usually to do. Okay, so Dad also did a removal, and he found himself running into some raccoons when he was doing the removal, and he did a pretty good job making sure he didn't end up hurting the raccoons. I think I ended up getting a video taken down when I first started making videos, and I titled it "Don't Watch, you don't want to see it." And I was making a cut, and somehow a squirrel came out of the crack in the branch where the cut was at and shot out, and it didn't even look like it cut it. Like, I don't even know what happened. It was the weirdest thing. It's like slow mo. It may still be up, but I had to like take it down because I was getting strikes on it and warnings, and people were leaving the most god awful comments. But I told them don't watch it. Like, there's an animal that ends up getting hurt. So yeah, you got possum cam. I mean, there's it's crazy, but he ran into some of the cutest little raccoons, man. There were some fat guys, but he dropped a big chunk of the tree and landed it pretty good, and the raccoons come running out, and they were fine. And the damn thing ran right back to the tree and up him. He could have reached out and touched it when it came by. It was crazy. I was like, "Oh, dude!" It came all the way up the tree, and right, his bucket was pressed against the tree. It hit his bucket, went around his bucket, and I think he was afraid it was coming at him. But yeah, it went on up, went into a different hole. He had to make a different cut, but yeah, they both ended up making it, and yeah, it was pretty cool video. So Zachy has put out a video, crane job video. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I do. The video is called "If the Pieces Are Too Big, They Will Tip the Crane Over." Um, yeah, yeah, that checks out. But yeah, kid. He's not a kid. Um, I look at him at first like a kid, but I think he's just got that baby face. But he's good. He's got some skill, and I think he's just pretty much smart. It seems like all around, pretty good at everything he does. So yeah, if you haven't seen Zacchaeus' channel, go check it out. Fabs Acres also put out some videos. Um, Fabs is a northerner, I believe, maybe New York, Boston area somewhere. He works on chainsaws, and he got to messing with Steve for a little bit, and Steve sent him a chainsaw. So that's, I think, the videos I've seen that he's been putting out, they've all been about the Big Bore 372, and him and Steve, I think, were really close, and then now I don't know how they are. Um, let's see. Let's see. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, he put out the Big Bore 372 videos. So it's funny. So in his video, he says um, they can't be getting along, because he straight up says in the video, you don't, or he says, is the 372 big bore Pro Mag a professional grade chainsaw out of box? And he says no. And I was like, oh snap. So he's got to, you know, Steve may have to stop saying professional grade, because his reason for saying all those people that say that are liars is because they haven't bought a chainsaw. And what it is he won't sell them a chainsaw, even if they tried to buy it. So that's why he wants people to call him personally, so he can, like, run you through the ringer, make sure you're not part of the chainsaw cult and this and that. And so Fabs just went straight out and said, nope, it is not a pro grade chainsaw. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So then he says, but it can be but he can make it into a pro grade chainsaw. And yeah, I still don't, no, I don't think so. But I think Fabs' whole deal is he's switching out parts and putting his little muffler on it, and that's supposed to make it a pro grade saw. I don't know, but according to Fabs, he can take a clown saw and make it a pro grade saw. So you guys may need to look into that if you're interested. So here's a guy that I forget about at times, and I don't know how I would forget about him, because this dude has shown me so much and has legit moved the industry in majorly in a positive way. He's brought in, like, his thought process and the way he does things. It's changed rigging forever and influenced me so much. So Giorgio Fiore, I believe he's French or something. I saw a $300 cylinder on sale for $800, and it was not OEM, and thought of Steve. That's awesome. Yeah, so, dude, we're gonna get to it. We'll get to it. But this week is he Italian? Italian, yeah. There we go. Daniel knows. So, he's just, man, he's done so much, not only for climbing, but he's done so much for rigging. The thing about him is, I feel like he uses his YouTube channel as a reference source. He's not the guy that's going to regurgitate something 50 times over and do the same thing repeatedly and show you over and over and over and over and over, like I'm guilty of. Like, same tree. He's more of a, I will share this with you, and there it is. So his videos are usually something, either it documents an event, or it's an innovation or new special technique, or like his things that he did for SRT, and like the advancements he made for me when it comes to SRT, and the things I was able to do after learning it. He took it just so far beyond. And it blows my mind with some of the stuff he's done. The little tricks that he's came up with. And I just want to give Giorgio a huge shout out. And so the way you spell it is Giorgio. That's Giorgio. And Fiore is Fiori. He's absolutely amazing. And if you want to learn something about SRT, especially when it comes to like redirects and retrievable redirects and just crazy advancements in rigging, and he's got his own rigging ring. Like, check the dude out. He's incredible. I think it's absolutely absurd that his channel only has 5.07 thousand people. So go check him out. Guarantee you're not going to go through his library of content and not learn something. So you just feel like learning something, go check his channel out. Next I came across was JC, Lawn, Tree, and Snow. JC's a buddy. I think he does a lot of his own chainsaw work, which is really cool. So he put out a video called Dead Ash Gets Hung Up. And I want to say, JC, the saws sound great. Your equipment looks just clean, nice, like your whole setup. He's got every little like knick-knack that comes to logging. But you're falling dead ash trees in the middle of the woods and they're hanging up. Brother, you got to put a hard hat on for me. Like you protected your ears, you had your eyes protected. I just know when you're dealing with dead ash trees, how much breaks out usually, and that's all they really do. But I just cringed the entire time I watched the video, if I'm being honest, JC. And I know you have a hard hat. So I'm not going to write you a ticket this time. Just give you a warning, a citation. You're my buddy. You got to put a hard hat on. I feel like it was. See? I don't always take them to jail. Every once in a while, I'll let someone go with a warning. Daniel, come sliding in here. What's up, Daniel? How you been, buddy? Oh, no, you're good, brother. You the man, JC. Dude, the saws sound fire. Like, and they seem like they was ripping. But man, I was so scared the whole time that something dead was gonna fall out that had been hung up in it, or I was like, ah. But dude, you're killing it. I love the videos. So go check JC's channel out. That's JC Lawn Tree Snow. It only takes one little limb. Yes, sir, man. And it sucks. What was it, 10 to 20 years? Yep. Yeah, I never wore a hard hat. Like, for my first 10 years, I didn't even know guys wore hard hats. I was doing tree work for almost like a decade before I knew it. Before I ran into a guy that was doing tree work that was wearing a hard hat. And I was like, well, that's a pretty good idea. That's wild. But ignorance was bliss at that time. There was I didn't have the internet. I didn't have anything like that. I'm country. Like, for all you guys that had internet your whole life, like, I didn't have internet until didn't feel like it wasn't too long ago when I found out. Maybe 10 years ago. But, yeah, I just watched my dad do it my whole life, too. And it just wasn't something that I thought was, I didn't even know guys did it. Just be straight up. So, yeah. I did 20 years without one. Yeah, man. And there were times where people got cracked in the head and stitches were had and stuff like that. And, it blows my mind when I think about it. Like, yeah, we could have put a damn hard hat on. That's crazy. But, yeah, now it's a comfort tool for me. Like, it's my blankie. Like, I feel awkward on the job, anywhere on site, even near the tree, and then I put that on. And then I'm like, I'm good. So it took me some getting used to that, though. Then one saved my life and at least kept me from getting paralyzed. Yeah, I don't know if mine helped in my fall. I think it probably did because I did get knocked out. But yeah, I just wouldn't, dude. There's so often where my face would be clawed up. You know what got me to get a hard hat? Really? This is crazy. I started knowing guys had them. I was still just doing my thing, like just a hillbilly getting her done. And I found out guys had hard hats. And then I was climbing a tree one time, and a squirrel came out and jumped on my face. And I had my buck strap around, but at that time I wasn't setting my ropes either. I had my buck strap around, and the squirrel came out, jumped on my face, clawed my face all up, and I almost let go of the tree and tried to like run away. And I was probably 20 foot up in the air. Thank God my buck strap stopped me, but I gaffed out. and then I started sliding. I had my eyes closed, and I finally got my gaps back in before I went all the way down. It just, I'm all raw and cut up, and then I was worried about that happening again. And my wife got me a steel hard hat with the face mask. Actually, the face mask is right here. I used it for a long time, and that was the first hard hat I ever owned. So pretty crazy. Then I bought some other ones. I bought a couple with a steel, and I bought a cask. Then now I have a Protos, and I don't know that I would wear anything other than a Protos now. And it needs to have Bluetooth in it so I can listen to music. So yeah, dude. Yeah, Peter. I mean, I would. I get the tough guy routine, and I get the that in the summer, man. Like anybody, like I see guys wearing them in the wintertime. Yeah, mine keeps me warm. You know, but it's when it gets super hot outside, and I see guys not wearing them even more then, or it'll get in the winter and they don't want to put it on because it doesn't fit with their sock cap, and they don't want to take their sock cap off, and it's like, come on, man, get an adjustable one and so you can use it. But let's see, limb broke out of a fire and speared me in the back of the neck as I was looking down. Dude. Yeah, squirrels. I'm not a squirrel fan. Like one time I had my mind absolutely blown. I had no idea that in my area we apparently have flying squirrels. So what happened is I was up in this little bitty, like really, well, it wasn't little bitty, but it was a small maple tree. And I was up doing some reduction in the crown and taking out a few things that was just some pruning, directional stuff. And so I get up in the top, and I'm starting to set my tie-in point and my cambium saber so I could go back down. And I look over, and there's a little squirrel on the end of the nest. I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" Or on the end of the branch. I was like, "What are you doing?" So I stepped down on the branch below it, and the branch above it is even a little shorter, so I could walk out on this one, and I got my hand within like a few inches of him, and I'm like, "There's no way this squirrel's about to let me pet him." I had a glove on at the time, but as I went to touch him, he jumped and floated like 3 yards away, and my mind exploded. And I was like, what sorcery just happened? I didn't even know what to say. It was like, did you guys see that? And I was like, yeah, dude, that was crazy. What was that? I was like, dude, it was a squirrel. So apparently, just letting y'all know if you didn't know, they have squirrels where I live. So people keep honking outside. It makes me want to walk outside and see what that's all about, but let's hope they got it figured out. 2 herniated discs due to the back of it. Damn, man. I've been wearing the helmet, man. Forget about it. That's a bummer. That's one of the topics we were going to get into. August this week was talking about his back pains and stuff, and like I had no idea that his back pains had gotten as bad as they had. But try not to skip over anybody. Guys, check out Brandon Rusty's Tree Care. The dude puts out solid, good tree climbing videos, and he's just good at climbing. He's a character too. He's good on camera, so makes good edits, and I like his style. So he'll rig some heavy duty stuff. Damn, Jay comes in like colored up. You're the man, Jay. What up, brother? Yank come in? You guys come in? Did you guys ride together? Son of a gun. So, yeah, but check out Brandon. Uh, Saul Bandits also put out some good content this week. Just got back to the hotel. Sweet, brother. What was you out doing? So yeah, like I said, Saul Bandits. Check those guys out. They're hilarious. I think he's a straight comedian in my opinion. But what up, Brandon? I was up in a maple with a broken out top. Had a saw racer. Thought said, wait a second. The saw went 2 steps up. Peek inside the cavity was about 12 inches. Whew. Shoot! I'm in BC sledding in the mountains. Oh, so that's where, dude. Okay, I must have. I've been catching the videos where you're just straight out, just ripping through the snow, dude. That's beautiful. Like that place is beautiful. That I was gonna say, you guys want to see somewhere absolutely gorgeous? Go check out Jay's videos that he's been putting out. He's he's out. I seen him snowmobiling. Like they were doing a bit of shooting. So yeah, dude, that place is insane, man. It's indestructible, dude. It was mind blowing to see. Are those the trees that are absolutely covered? Like just completely, they're just like a snow popsicle sticking out of the ground. It's crazy. It's just like a little mound of snow sticking up. All right, all right. So we made it there, but yeah, check out Saul Bandits. Those guys are hilarious. They're from Ireland, I think. So they, I just, if he watches this, I want him to know, like, hey, don't forget about all of us. Just because you're not doing some big tree job doesn't mean you can't throw a little bit of content out. I think a lot of people do the whatever it is that they do for their hobby, for their content. But those people that end up following you, there's at least a small group of them that enjoy you. So the personal, you can try some of that content and put that out and see how it goes. But he's a character. Go check him out. Yes, sir. Covered in snow, dude. That's insane. These are 15 to 20 feet below the snow. That's what? I have a question for the chat and Mr. Stewart. What's up? Christmas was awesome. That's sick, dude. Hey, ask away. Hey, ask away. Let's see what you got. Because next we're getting turtley. It's very small though. I don't want to run Chris off if he's still around here. So um we're not getting too crazy on it. But I have to discuss. How does a guy take his show on the road per se? I'm insured in all 50 states. I the thing I would maybe try is what's going on in and go by county. Facebook wise, if you don't know anybody there, I would go by county, dude. As you go through, if you find yourself stopping in a county, go on Facebook and try to join what's going on in that county and like put that you're going to be there that time and if you're making a trip um and then using your social media following and trying to find people that you could map something out too is a good idea. Just contract yourself out. UP, yeah. Chase the storms. I have all the gear, the equipment, the trucks, the trailers to move the ship. Yeah. Just need the logistics on point. Yeah. Yeah, you would just make sure you got all your ducks in a row and just give it hell, man. What I would do is set up a good game plan where you go from one place to another. Um, Maybe make a trip where you make a loop and try to hit some spots and have them set, and then maybe the next month or however long you take, the next time you do a little bigger loop and then a little bigger loop. But just I think what you do is you just let it be known that's what your plan is, what you're going to do, and see who's interested in getting in. So I guess I'm not sure how to get the clientele. That's why I was saying try you know, it's either door knocking or shoot, contacting radio stations. That every one of my counties, there's a Facebook page that is what's going on in and said county, and you could do that. There's tons of Facebook groups like that, but I mean, it's a tough one. That's a tough one. Like, there's a channel we're gonna talk about. He that's what he does. He goes on the road everywhere, and it's an entertaining gig too. Yeah. Good work goes a long way. 100%. Who's that? Who was that? Ken? What's going on, Ken? How are you, brother? I guess I'd have to make. Yeah, I mean, you could just make a one for your business and do it that way, and do it really. I mean, I'm sure you have a couple pictures. Um, yeah, it wouldn't. It would be easy to do. I don't do Facebook either, so I still have an account that I share with my wife. We both share an account, but yeah, we are nine. All right, metal on wood. I mean, you guys know. Oh, hey, in that video we did last week, we got 37 likes in that video. So every time we do a live feed, I'm trying to beat that. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, that blew my mind. I think we had like 37. Maybe it was even more than that. But yeah, it was pretty sick. Staple bids and business cards on trees you think should be removed. Yeah, there you go. Flyers out everywhere. Hit a town, have somebody drive a little bit ahead, hit that town with flyers. But okay, so this okay, I have he's done so much more than what I'm gonna say. I only looked back a few days. I'm only gonna give you a few days of what this ding dong's been doing because there's just too much. There's just too much. So I mean, he had his whole fallout with Fabs where they were they were attached at the hip, defending each other in arguments, and like now they don't like each other, which hey, honeymoon's over. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think Steve maybe deep down could be like a really good guy. Maybe he was nice, and all of a sudden Fabs pulled a quick one on him and told the truth about the saw when he wasn't supposed to, and then just hey, if you want to see it, it's out there. Go watch it. But puts out a video. It's called "Only Good for Cutting Branches." Echo 7310 chainsaw. So I believe this is a pretty big Echo. I'm not an Echo guy, so I don't know every number of Echoes, but the 7310 I think is a fairly large Echo chainsaw, like 76 cc ish, somewhere in that area, I think. So Steve gets it. and makes a video instantly showing it, and titles the video "It's only good for cutting branches," and puts it next to what looks to be like a Farmer Tech 440 or something, 044-ish. Like it says, it's got like 6 fours on it and a 0, so probably 044, a couple extra 44444. But they're running them next to each other, and he asked his his main bitch, like, you know how you have a side chick and then you have like just a fling, and then you have your main bitch. So I feel like Jawa is that. Like, he is that for Steve. So he asked Jawa. Well, he's the guy that's like, you know, hey, dance for me, and he like makes him dance. He's always making him look like a knucklehead. And Jawa is still absolutely afraid to show his face on camera, which is absolutely just insane to me, because we're supposed to trust this man's mechanical expertise and his opinion on things. At least Steve puts his face on camera. And Jawa gives you all this information and tries to teach you stuff. He don't show his face. Refuses to show his face. Okay, I think that's weird, but whatever. He asked Jawa, hey, what do you think about this saw right here? And he's like, well, it's probably good for cutting branches, huh? And he's like, hell no, I don't want that. Why would I want that when I could get this for like half the price? And Steve's like, hey, quarter of the price, a quarter of the price. Like, whatever. That's weird. But he's trying to downplay the Echo saw for some reason. I don't really understand why. And he's boosting up a saw that he doesn't even sell, that's blue, that's in Jawa's, that he ported and worked on and did all. Okay, whatever. I don't understand this video. I usually don't understand his videos. I keep up with them. I watch them. I don't ever understand them. He's always like, I'm about to do this. And then the video ends and he didn't do what he said he was going to do. So, ticket. Like, right from the get-go, I'm walking up with at least 2 or 3 tickets when I see Steve. So, I don't get why he got this saw. Maybe just so he could trash on Echo. And this video was right before the next one, where him and Jawa, like, it was a short to it, and then there was a long version. And what happens is, Jawa starts that blue saw for him. Or no. Okay, first, Steve finally starts the Echo that he's been basically dogging on and talking trash about it. Stay safe, Canada, bro. Oh, did somebody take off? Damn. Who had to leave? Or am I... There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Ever. More random than me. No, dude. It gets crazy. So, I'm like, what is he doing with this Echo saw? He went and bought it. And so he finally starts the saw. And I like that he records so much stuff, because some truth comes out if you're able to sit there and pay attention. So, Echo, as Tara calls him. Yeah, Echo. So he starts the saw. And you can see him like, ooh, wow. That was after he had put it. I gotta put it in my left hand, my right shoulder. I blew it out. I started too many chainsaws. Stop only making videos of you starting chainsaws. Maybe run them every once in a while. You won't blow your damn shoulder out. But if you're always just making videos of you starting them and turning them off and starting them and turning them off, that's cool. You showed that you have a chainsaw that will start. That's the first part of it. And then it needs to do a whole bunch more after that. But maybe that's just me and my chainsaws. So, I put out a short video. I don't know if anybody caught it, but I seen this goofball doing the wildest shit. And I didn't understand why. So, In the video, he starts the echo, he runs it for a second, and he's amazed. And I don't want to misquote him, so I'm going to try to say exactly what he said. So, go down there, maybe. I used 2511T with a 12-inch, quarter-inch Pico, sausage, shot muffler, great limbs, and some spar work. Yeah, so Ken, he's talking about it's a rear handle saw. It's one of Echo's bigger saws. It would be probably comparison close to the 372. And I think that's probably why I bought it. This would be Echo's version of the 372-ish. You know, I'm not a big Echo guy, so don't quote me on it. Hey, starting it is very important. Without it, the rest of the whole reason for having the thing can't happen. So he is covering first base, but it's going to take a long damn time to get home if this is how slow we're doing it. 2511. Get down for what they are. Yeah. Especially after porting and so, yeah. Some mod, advance the timing and stuff like that. But he uses it and he says, what did he say? Damn, I didn't write it down. Okay, so he uses it and he's amazed. He's like, "Ooh, man, that throttle, it's like a hairpin." I know I wrote that down. Okay, hang on. No, I did. So first, before he starts the Echo, he opens it up. It's got a little spot that's got a little piece of burnt plastic. Steve proceeds to say, "Yep, look at it. It's blown up. It's blown up. Or it's burnt up. That's what it is. It's burnt up. Yeah, it's burnt up. I bought this saw. It's burnt up already." This before he started it. And I'm like, dude, why are you dogging on this thing so much? So he already in his mind, he wants it to be trash before he starts it. So he says he's going to have to order a new piece of plastic so he can fix it because he likes his saws to be mint. Yeah, if you're never using them to do anything and all you're doing is starting them every once in a while, they're going to stay nice, man. So I'm not concerned. Your saws aren't going to wear out ever with what you do. So, when he starts it, he's amazed at how it runs, how the throttle response is. His exact words are, he says, "Man, ooh, man, that thing's got a quick trigger. Ooh, it's got a quick trigger. Yeah, hair trigger, hair trigger, hair trigger. Ain't that right in Jawa?" And Jawa hasn't even started or nothing. Yeah, Steve, yeah. Dude, stop being a Muppet. Stop. Like, when he tells you to do something, be like, "Ah, no, thank you, man. I'm my own man." But it comes out like you're not. You're Steve's man. So Steve's like, "Yeah, how about that, Jawa?" And he has to agree instantly, which is makes me gag every time it happens. I'm like, come on, what is going on here? So he says, "Ooh, yeah," and he's always got to make some goofy reference of something that he thinks a man would say. And he goes, "Oh, you know it. That thing's shoe. She got that hairpin trigger like a Smith & Wesson snub nose 42 set." Dude, I'm so lost. I'm like, "Oh, like a gun. Awesome, Steve." He was amazed by it. The thing about that is you're using, for the first time, I think, like, it could be possible that it's happened before. But for the very first time, you're using a professional grade chainsaw. And you're getting to experience what throttle response is. And it's blowing your mind. Because your Pro Mag saws, don't call them Pro Grade. Just call them Pro Mags. That's the name you wanted to go with because it was close to Pro Grade. You're hoping you could, whatever, like, I don't know the reason, but your saws don't do that because they're not professional chainsaws. So the first time he gets one in his hand, he can never deny this video because he released the video. He put it out where his mind was absolutely just, it imploded when he seen the throttle response and how quick the throttle response is on a professional grade chainsaw. So I found it very funny. I'm like, check him out. He's actually using it now, Steve. That's what all them saws are supposed to do. So right afterwards, he puts. I see a video where he goes through a hardware store. He sees some um, Husqvarna spark plugs, and he takes his attempt at satire, and he's like, "Oh, hey, old Jawa," and Jawa goes with him into public, which I would never do that, dude. And that's the thing. I'm even more pissed off because if I at least ran into Steve in public, I could see what Jawa looked like. Because apparently, unless he's walking around in a full face mask, but they go into the chainsaw store, wherever that's at, well, probably Lowe's, and he says, "Hey, look at that, Jawa. That's one of them Husqvarna spark plugs. Turns out they have one of those right there to be a pro grade chainsaw and to work right." And he's like, "But it's all." He's like, "That's. Do you think that's true?" And Jawa's got to be his Muppet. Yes, Steve. Yes is what you want me to say, right? Well, yes, Steve. Yes. I'm like, man. So I don't know what he was trying to say exactly. What I took from the video is, in his opinion, a spark plug, no matter what kind of spark plug it is, in a chainsaw doesn't matter. You can take a plug that's fouled out, put it against a brand new, Bosch or NGK, no difference. And he doesn't spark. That's not even important in a combustible engine. I don't know if you guys just didn't know this, but Steve he's always dropping knowledge on us. And I didn't know this, but I had no idea. I thought spark plug was kind of important. But turns out, not so much. Squirrely John, what's up, brother? Turtle power. So, turns out I missed a little bit of that video where he started the echo. I had originally only seen the short. And the long, he put the echo down. And Jawa started the saw that, the blue one, he started it up and he was running it. And Steve's his toes got to tingling on him. He's feeling funny and stuff. Oh, let me hold that thing. Let me run it. And he got so giddy. He was so excited. Yeah, hold this phone for me. Yeah, I'll make sure I don't show your face. And let me see that thing right there. Ooh. So we got to hold this saw. Alright, I got a chainsaw here. I can do this. I don't know if I can actually do this because I would feel so fruit while I'm doing it. But so he gets the saw and he's like, switch looks good. Oh yeah, ergonomic, wing, 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 wing. Then he does this. He says wing, and it jumps down by his leg. And he goes wing, and it jumps down by his leg. He goes wing, wing. I lost my mind when I was like, what the hell is he doing? He doesn't know how to hold the chainsaw to the point that he is a danger to himself and anyone who gets near him. He's using a hopped up chainsaw like that actually has throttle response with his 090 BS. You could probably do that same thing and the saw go. But you're using something that probably has better parts, that's been worked on and turned into a high performance piece of machinery. And this guy just doesn't even know what to do. So by default, we are professional arborists. Does that mean if we use something, does that mean it's pro grade? Pretty much, I was just going to be a typical YouTuber and come out here and try to sell you guys something tonight. I forgot though. I was like, I gotta do that because I watch big YouTubers and other YouTube channels, and I see what am I doing that they're not doing. I'm not selling you stuff. That's the problem. So what I got is I got these boots. These are good boots. Just trust me. Trust me. Trust me. You guys, I make YouTube videos. These are good boots. And these boots were in a magazine. I'll send you a copy of the magazine with a boot. $3.50 and you pay shipping. And I don't know which boot was actually, I think they were both in the magazine. One was featured, the other one was like a background guy. But yeah, they were in it multiple times too. One was they were the whole picture. Like these were the only thing, and I think it was Bartlett magazine. So I'll be selling these boots, $3.50, and you pay shipping. Whew. Yeah, they still got a little bit of tread. You can use them. Don't worry about that. That's not a big deal. The cracking's normal. If you've not ever used you don't know boots if you don't know about the cracking. Son of a bit just broke right there. But yeah, it's a good product. I back it 100% and would sell it to you in a heartbeat. Oh, and that's a collab I'm doing with Carolina too. I forgot to say that. So you guys like Carolina, you would definitely. Too cheap? I was thinking that. I may delete this video after we're done and then make a new one saying sixes. Yeah. That's true. So I made a YouTube short where I green screened myself reacting to him doing that. So if you haven't seen that, that's on the channel. Go check that out. It was interesting to say the least. So you should do a giveaway with them boots. Yeah, maybe. I don't know why anybody would ever want them. I mean, I kept them because like maybe I'm weird, but I skateboarded and tried to make it into a skateboard magazine. Never made it. I wear Carolina boots, but I need a big saw, preferably 044. Sick. Yeah, 044 would be awesome. Even if you could get one of them nowadays, man. Like that was my dad's favorite saw, and the saw I remember him always talking about the most was his 440. And I used it quite a few times when I was younger, but it was just too much for me as a young teen, like early, like 13, 12, 13, trying to use it. It was a beast, but yeah, I wish I had one. Yeah, I know. So he he seems to think that's a chainsaw myth about the spark plugs. You can just put whatever you want. So you can mark it on the calendar, like right now. But no, I like Carolinas. I like Carolinas a lot. I wore them, and I think I have a newer pair inside that I started to wear, but I think I have some Georgias right now, and I got them for Christmas one year, so I switched over to those. But I still have Carolinas is what I've always wore, so I love them. Feet picks or smelly boots? It would be a hard choice. Yeah, I know. I like my logger style boots. Yeah, I totally get that. I understand why a person would want to wear those. And it took me quite a while to really get it. But what happens is where if you've ever tried to wear a shoe or a small boot and wear spikes, there's a lot of wiggle. There's a lot of negative space in between your leg and the gaff and all that. But with a big boot, you're actually strapping in to where the boot's at. It's not onto raw skin. And for some of them older straps, that would be so Cadillac to be able to lock in like that. So, John, what's up? You like your Hoffmans? That's awesome, dude. So, the unthinkable has happened. The Metal and Wood Tree Service is now functional. And I just personally want to put out an Amber Alert for every tree service anywhere near Steve. He bought a ladder. And you know he's already got all the chainsaws and chainsaw skills. So, tree service? I mean, I'm calling it now, but yeah, he bought a 24-foot ladder, and yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. So I just wanted to like document that I don't think this is good. I don't think it's a good idea, but he's gonna do whatever he wants. I think he found like a lot lizard and picked them up and brought them they're in the woods right now together. This is really weird stuff. He's like, he found some lot lizard dude and like picked him up and took him deep into the woods and they're camping by fire and doing things together. It's really strange. But I mean, you can, to each their own. And this guy's already turned into a puppet where he's like been trained that when Steve says, like, comment, subscribe, and share, he says, yeah, give us a good thumbs. Give us a good thumbs. And the first video he put out was the guy, they were in the woods by a fire. And he's like, okay, this is take 5. And I was like, what the hell did he just say? And so I rewound it back. I'm like, oh my God, 24 feet. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's, they're done. Like, it's going to be crazy. So, at least he can get a rope up 24 foot now because I seen his ass pulling the log like right above his head sometimes. So, but he somehow, I don't know the correct term. It like found this guy, abducted this guy. I don't know, but they're in the woods together and I don't feel like this guy wants to be there. But I think his eyes, it looks like he's in pain. But he says, take 5. Like, what did you do the other 4 takes? I want to know. Between that and a pole saw, you can do some. Yeah, well, everybody's in trouble. Yeah. He's been kidnapped. Yeah. And he's like, did I feed you? And he may have adopted this guy because like he's worried about DFS getting on him. So he's like documenting like, I gave you food, right? And the guy's like, yeah, you did. It was really tasty. And he's like, is that right? Yeah, it was seasoned up real nice and had the pepper jacks on it. Made my tummy really full. And he's like, yeah, that's right, I did. You gonna let me cook for you again? Yeah, I would eat it, yeah. Give us a good thumbs. And I just see pain in his eyes. So I'm worried for him. But if you've seen that video, I nailed that impersonation. If you haven't seen it, that sucks. Because you would have thought it was funny. Ken probably seen it. But drink the Kool-Aid. Exactly. 100%. I just got done making a bushing or dye. Dye set. Right on. Yeah, okay. I'll stop. But yeah, someone check on that guy. Next now, I'll be straight with you. In my head, I already started picturing this guy between Steve's legs videotaping, and I'm like, dude, get out of there. Like, run. So, my bet it's a single person tent and a 2-person sleeping bag. All right, let's go on to something else. I gotta stop. Oh, ladders and cells don't go together. Yeah, they shouldn't. I mean, I like to have a ladder sometimes, always with me, and just in case you need to get onto a roof or something to get some access. But yeah, they definitely don't go together. There are many channels I don't watch. yeah. Well, I'm glad you watch mine. I appreciate you, brother. I'm done on Steve. I could go for days. Like I gotta skip ahead. So Schroeder is still making him some axes and putting out videos. So go check out. He's grown a channel really quick, and it's been wild watching. He's been very smart with how he's collabed and stuff, and to see his channel grow so quick it's been cool. So, ladder, bro. Yeah, looks good from my yeah, it looks good from my place. But yeah, he got I think Jeff this week put out a couple videos. I think one where he fell an ash tree, maybe something like it. He fell a tree in between this fence post, and the tree had a big, like quite a bulbous union on it, and it jumped it, which is pretty crazy to watch. I would have been worried about that because I've had that happen, like with when you fall like a spruce tree or a little fat cedar or pine, when you go to fall it, because of the limbs immediately being so strong and so far out. Like on a pine tree, they would start there. When you fall that, those first limbs hit and it throws the butt up into the air and it'll roll. But Jeff's tree was a little different. It went like right there, and then it like swerved out like that. So he put his notch in. And when he fell it hit this thing and it flipped it up over the fence post that was right over like here. He was falling in between them. Then they took the section of fence out. It might even, oh my bad. So he fell it into this hole right here. And this hit and it rolled the butt up over the top of the fence post. Kind of got lucky on that one. But he could have, I probably would have made a cut right here so that when it did come over and that hit, it would break and fold up. But yeah, it worked though. He hit it there and it bounced it and it went all the way and landed like over the post over here. So yeah, those weird flares that you see in them where you have that, you got to think of how a lot of times how every branch is going to contact, not just where the main stem's going to go, every branch, because something like that can change what everything does. So yeah, John Bob, every carabiner and stuff, you'll see that KN on it, and it'll say MBS or SW, safe working weight load, something like that. But yeah, usually they're in kilonewtons. That's like would you say 240 something like that? Let's see. Yeah, 224 kilonewtons. Don't care. 1 kilonewton is 1,000 newtons. Yeah. All right. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, go check Jeff out. He just got a new Echo 2511T too. Apparently him and August both got them. That's what it said in the thumbnail. Like, I think that's what he meant. Like, him and August both got the same chainsaw. But yeah, go check Jeff out. Jeff's also doing his members also, so you can check him out on that. He makes makes axes too. So here's a newer channel that I wanted to let you guys know about. Ethan Caceres. Ethan seems like a really good climber. He just put out a video. He seems to be going through that break-in stage with the Rope Runner Pro, moving over to it, where it slips at times and you get it to where it's at that right setting for your weight and body. But yeah, he's doing that. Seems to be pretty good. So check his channel out. Ethan's ETHAN. Caceres is CACERAS. Next channel is Treesus Bartleby. Treesus is very funny, like hilarious. He puts out, he seems to be, he's putting out content a little more often now. He kind of maybe took a break. I don't really know. I hadn't seen his stuff in a while, and so I checked in, and it turned out it was one of them. And here, for some people, if you're not getting all the notifications, you got to check the notification bell. And sometimes I've had YouTube unsubscribe me from channels. That kind of stuff happens every now and then. You got to go back in and just check. I've had my notifications changed, so that was one where Treesus, I don't remember unsubscribing, but I went back a few months back, and I've been watching him for a while, and dude makes really good content. He's a pretty good tree guy, but he's hilarious. But he's making good videos, so go check him out. He put out a video where he's battling the cold of Minnesota. It was hilarious. So check his channel out. Treesus is spelled Treesus. Bartleby is Bartleby. You got tree climber Harry. He did a huge oak tree that uprooted and smashed a bus. It was a gnarly job, and I respect the hell out of it and relate to it a lot because I do those kind of jobs without any machinery, without any heavy equipment. So ropes, chainsaws. And that's what he had to do because there was absolutely no access for any of that stuff. So it was enjoyable for me to watch how someone else would do a situation like that. Okay. Oh, Seattle Tree Care. Check out Seattle Tree Care. That's a big operation. Even their filming, I think, is a big operation. So if you haven't subscribed to them, go check them out. It's Seattle Tree Care. It's spelled exactly how it sounds. Then August Honeyke, he talks about his back problems that he's dealing with. He can't bend over, and like pick something up, which is crazy to me. And I feel for the guy because I've had issues, periods in life where I was dealing with back problems, and I have blown out knees. But back problems is something special, something even worse. It's miserable. So him talking about how he can't, play cornhole because he can't bend over to grab the beanbags. That's crazy. I just feel for the dude. I really hope my instinct, like my instinct was to think about tree work. And I'm like, what if he gets in a situation where he needs to be flexible or bendable to that extent to get out of a position? And I'm like, dude, like let him do what he wants. Don't even talk about it. But that's just what my brain does. So kind of feel for the guy. I really hope he can figure out how how to deal with that and still be able to do what he wants to do. So, first generation farmer. What's going on? August also put out a video where he was in a little tree that arced over the building, and he had to think out the rigging. It's a little more than just throw your rope over a branch and rig. Sometimes you have to rig off of a point. You need to be able to strengthen that point, and you can do that by using either false crotches or multiple crotches. And he kind of touched on that a little bit. It's been wild that we've been talking about that a lot here lately. That's just crazy. I was like, oh, cool. Well, there's an example where you're in a tree, you need to rig, and you need to know these kind of things on angles, how to set things up to cause compression instead of, like pulling and tension. So I just think that stuff's important. I think some guys just get away with, I'll throw it over a branch and I'll rig and that'll be good enough. And he discussed it. I just thought it was interesting. It was a good example of a tree that you needed to know that kind of stuff to be able to do it. But yeah, check out August. I'm sure you already do. All right. So I came across one that, steel chainsaws. I have a MS-290 that will not say run it all. And the only thing I could think of was 20 degrees out. You could check your spark arrestor on your saw. If it's a 290, it's probably a saw that's been used quite a bit. Your spark arrestor screen can be clogged up. Your plug could be fouled out. Or, the cold will do it though. It's gonna be a little harder on it. So I would check those few things first because they're really simple fixes, and kind of go from there. It's got most of those saws. I also have a cold weather shutter on them, and I don't know. I'll show you. I have a actually I don't know if this saw has it, but this is an 021. It's not gonna have it. It's an O series saw. I already took it out. So most saws, when you go inside, there's like a little vent, and it's usually by the spark plug a lot of times. But you've got to switch it over to cold weather. It's called the cold weather shutter, and what it'll do is it'll help capture some heat in there to warm some stuff up too. So, well, here I could show you on a saw at least. I have at least one. I have plenty of saws here. So on this like 070, it would be like a little vent or something up in here. I think I may have took it out. Sometimes it's in this. Damn, why don't any of these saws have it? So here's one to where I'm pretty sure we'll find it. So if it's a top handle saw, this is a 191. Holy shit, it's not in there. Yeah, usually on top handles like my 201, it's like right in here. You flip it. It's like a little lever, you flip it over. Some of them are different. Some of them have like a little plate, and you like take the plate and flip it around. It'll have a vent hole on one side and no vent hole on the other side. So you just like flip it around. Sometimes I have some of those laying around here. I guess I don't right now. Wait. See my 191. I'm not even looking at it anymore. But yeah, every saw has a cold weather shutter. You got to find that. Make sure that you switch that over. That'll help. Something I do in the cold weather, um, for my bar oil, I'll put a little bit of gas in it, and it'll help thin the bar oil down a little bit and run it through the system a little easier. So if it's really cold out, I'll put a little oil in, and then I'll hit it with a little bit of gas on top of it, a little mixed gas. So is it only the M-tronics? I don't think so, because I have some older saws where you just flip this little like button on the inside. My 290 should be in here somewhere. I don't know what the hell has happened. Did I may have took that. I think I took it back out and it's being used again. Yeah. But yeah, you just have to check the saw out, take the cover off, and usually it's right there. You can find it. So yeah, I don't see us beating 37, but 17 thumbs is good. Oh, thank you. Those thumbs. I'm not a tree guy, also don't climb. I may not be the guy to ask you, sir. I don't know. Only carb saw I have is 880. Shoot. 044. Nice. Love the feel. And some of the older 056. Yeah, really good saws. I have any O series saw is what I try to snatch them up anytime. I have a 060 or 026 Pro here that I haven't. I get it to where the idle's off. Like I get it running. I think it may have. There may be a boot leaking or something somewhere. I don't know. Like it needs to be sent off to somebody that knows them a little more than me. But I did the saw up all real good and nice. It's got one of my Steelborn stickers on it, and it runs like a beast. But you have to keep. Okay, it needs some carb work. It doesn't idle and run like it should. So I can get a 064 for free? Damn, that's crazy. You should get it and sell the damn carb, probably. You can get a rebuild kit for that shit, but you ain't finding those carbs. My 021 started just fine when I was trying to start my 290. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay. Yeah, parts are rough to get. Yes, they are. So, I seen Trevor finally put out a video. So, Trevor Ahern, um, yeah, I've been a while since I've seen his stuff. So, I was like, well, I wonder what Trevor's doing. Um, I haven't kept up with his channel for a long time. He switched to doing like skydiving stuff for the longest time, so I just stopped. I stopped watching. I did end up unsubscribing to that one. I know for sure, but my phone knew to suggest his video to me when he finally did a tree video, which is crazy to me. But yeah, he put out a video where he was doing a crane job on a. I think maybe it was a big pine or something. I don't really know what kind of tree it was, but he was doing a crane job. It was all surrounded and up in these palms, and I inherited a mint 026 red lever from stepdad the past. Who? Dang. Who passed 2 years ago. That's sick, JC. Those are good saws, dude. I had a 441 Magnum. Oh, dang, dude. I'm telling you, John Bob. I think I just heard in Jawa talking about um, how you can't find this certain carb. I think he may have said a steel 064 or something. And there maybe he was trying. There's a build that he's trying to do for a 660 where you put a 064 carb on it because they were better, or I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe the trend. Like there's nowadays people, it's so worth it just to get the parts. Now I'm telling you, a lot of times you can buy the saws for pretty cheap, and a couple parts out of them if they're the right saw. And you should research all that stuff, kind of figure out what saws are worth money nowadays. Which ones are people looking for? What do you see people rebuilding? And yeah, parting them things out, make a pretty penny sometimes. Really? Yeah, well, built a 044, 046. That's sick, COVID. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. You started on a great foundation there, so I'm making money cutting trees, bro. Yeah. So yeah, go check Trevor out. He put out a video. We talked about J306. Where Jay is at, the videos he's putting out right now is gorgeous. Like that's a once in a lifetime view of like just the scenery there. So go check him out. Veterans Tree Service put out a couple videos. So in one of his videos, he had an arborist that came out. He's working for an HOA. He had an arborist come out and he assessed all the trees. And after he assessed them, he said the stuff that needed to be done to him, but he didn't want to do the work. And so Tim took on the work and let us all know, hey, the arborist assessed all this, but he didn't want to do the work, so I'm going to do it. But it was a lot of end weight reduction on stuff and some gnarly trees. So he says I'm using my spikes. You know, he's up front. I got to give the guy credit. And then I want to be on the forward pass. Yeah, yeah. Um, so he uses the spikes, but he shows this tree is absolutely moss covered. It's wet outside, like it's raining, and some of these trees were so big that they had rounded head syndrome where they go to their peak of height and they start to go over now. So if ever there was a tree where it was a candidate, I kind of like I'm okay. I just don't like when people are like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. Textbook, 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 textbook. But then you catch them not following the textbook. And it's only okay to not go by the textbook, textbook, textbook when they need not to. And that's the kind of stuff that it bugs me. Tim here, he was straight up. He was like, hey, I'm gonna try my best not to gaff the hell out of it. And you can see in the video, he really didn't do a whole bunch to it. It was very gentle. He rode the Raptor all the way to the top instead of spiking his way all the way up the tree. So I give the guy some credit. Sometimes you gotta bend some rules to make it work. But in the video, he says that you can't do that without spikes, and that's not true. I have to call him out there, and you get a citation, you get a warning. No ticket. You don't have to pay no fines. That's not true. You're lying. You can do that. It can be done. But you just didn't want to. You said, I'm not spending my whole day here doing this. But hey, that's your prerogative. But you can't say that it can't be climbed without spikes because it absolutely could have been. It's just going to be a whole lot more work and it's going to be dangerous. So I think if that was the case, it seems like the HOA had an arborist come out and assess it. So I feel like they're trying to go that direction where things are done proper and up to standards. And that was your opportunity to charge accordingly and do it by standards. But hey, that's just me. Um, he did what he did, and I mean, I'm not looking down on what he did. He did his thing. You know, he made it work for him on that day, but he did say in the video you couldn't have done it without spikes, and that's absolutely not true. I can't agree with him there. So, just looked at a YouTube video, and it showed where the winter shutter thing. Yeah, yeah, they should have. Somebody probably has put a video out there. I would try that. That's gonna help keep some heat inside of the saw. I think it's maybe to keep condensation and stuff from happening inside the carb, is what I've heard some people say. But keeping that heat inside there will help, like the oil run and stuff too, like for the bar oil, and you know the saw just runs better when it's warm. So you do some trapping, that's cool. I'm working on brass. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so relating to climbing a tree with spikes, the next, I'm not even saying the channel name, but this dude, first he returns to the same place that he spiked the hell out of this tree. He climbs this tree, he does some, like maybe something broke in the tree, and he climbed up in it and got it out and cleaned the stuff out of it, and it had a little peel in the tree, and he spiked his way up this tree and all the way through the tree, and the whole time just gapping the piss out of it. He's the same guy that will sit there and be like, well, the textbook says this, well, the textbook says this, well, according to industry standards, you know, and I'm going to teach you, I'm going to teach you. Stop being that guy if you want to be the guy that bends all the damn rules all the time. Because when he did this tree, he spiked the piss out of it all because he didn't want to climb it without spikes. And you know, he tried to blame it on the customer. Well, this is what the customer wants. This is what the customer wants. This tree's ruined. It's dead anyway. Well, he came back to that place. The tree looks healthier than most of them that are around it. Way healthier than the ones I'm seeing. So I don't think the tree's gone. So his excuse for him spiking it is the tree's shot anyway. Well, did you tell that guy that, hey, your tree's shot after I go and spike the piss out of it and I do the work to get the dead out of it and the broken part? It's shot because I spiked the hell out of it. No, you didn't. That's all. I don't like when a tree climber will pass the buck off onto somebody else, like a homeowner or something, because they don't want to do something. Mr. Know-it-all asshole. Yeah, this guy sounds like he does not know what he is doing. Yeah, and so he does though. He owns all the equipment to do it the right way. I've seen him use the equipment, so do it the right way. But instead of doing it the right way, it's easier for him. He can make his money for the day, and who cares? Well, what I would do, Bud, if you want to break all the rules, stop making videos of it. Stop recording yourself doing the wrong shit and then putting it out. Because you're always talking about doing everything by industry standards and by the textbook and this and that. Just don't record yourself breaking all them rules then. Because he returns to the spot, points the tree out that he spiked last time, and then points to the next one he's about to spike, and then admits that he knows this isn't right and that what he's doing is wrong. But he's going to do it anyway because it's what the customer wants. And the customer is paying, so the customer gives what they want. Oh my God. Okay. So, I got to give him some credit. Instead of absolutely, let me show you what he was going up to do. So you got a tree. It's like this. Goes up. One half went that way. One half went this way. So he throws Stobo up to there. This one actually was a little more vertical. Like there was one. It was more like that. But he throws the snowball up, sets his rope up here. Rope walks all the way up this, gets to there. What he needs to do, what he told the customer needs to be done, is this whole half needs to come off. Cut that half off. Don't do anything to this one over here. Just cut this one off because it looks dead. Well, I hate to tell you, but that's a one-cut climb. One cut. You rope walked up here. You didn't spike because you know it's wrong. You rope walked all the way up to here and then spiked the hell out of the tree afterwards. For what? I don't know. You to set a rope up here? And then come back down here and then gaff the piss out of it while you're positioning yourself and then reposition yourself and then reposition yourself and just beating the hell out of the tree for no reason when you could have rope walked yourself up, thrown another line over to here, tied in, and then brought myself down to here where I got a line here and I got a line here, and I would have released this one, pulled it out, and set it right below right here. Make the cut, put the notch in, send it over. You know, well, I mean, I don't understand what the hard part is. He cut one branch off that was below him on the way up, and this branch. It was 2 cuts. For God's sake, you didn't need to spike any. If there was ever a situation where you should have done it the right way to just show that you can, at least, this was your opportunity, bud. It was 2 cuts. It was one there on the way up, and then a notch here, and a back cut. And then he says, okay, he gets his cut off, and I'm like, no way did he just do that. No, I actually, it's basically a 1 cut. He could have cut this one with the damn pole saw from the ground. So actually, it's a 1 cut climb. So he gets all this off here. And listen to this stupidity. I swear. Sometimes I just don't get people. So he's got this here that's left over. And it's got little jaggies right there, okay? So he says, well, YouTube, the textbook industry says to make the cut right. Well, actually, the way that these limbs want, this one won't weigh like more up. He says, is to make it small. And he tells us what the textbook says. Right as he's spiking the piss out of the tree, he tries to inform us about the standards. For God's sake, just shut up. But, so he's got this. And he says, you know, it shouldn't make a diagonal cut there because you're going to make a bigger cut. So he makes this cut right here to get his ugly notch off there. So what he's done is this is what's left up there. And he comes down. Okay? So that's what's left. At least the house is over here. This is facing like a field. So, well, I mean, whatever. But I think he purposely cut this flat because he says, oh, YouTube, you just don't understand. This branch was dead, so this is gonna decay, this is gonna rot, it's gonna happen fast. Yeah, I tell you what, if you put a flat cut right there, and it looked like he put a damn level on it to make it flat. And this is something like this, water, snow, precipitate, all gonna set right here. It's gonna stay there. And you're right, Bubba. You made a perfect perch for rot to start. So, congratulations. You made another amazing YouTube video, and I wish you would do something that I could give you credit for and not feel bad. So, I'm not saying no names, but I think, for God's sake, dude, have a little bit of respect for yourself. Show that you have it in you instead of always lacking. Like, I'm going to say that. It's just, it lacks, Bubba. It lacks hard. And if you're in the middle of breaking one of the biggest rules in tree work, maybe refrain from trying to teach us standards and stuff in the middle of doing that. So, or just do your own thing. I don't really care. Guilty of treason, bought a new grapple truck. That was pretty sick, but God, no. Jake also received the stupid Milwaukee chainsaw that's got 2 batteries on it and looks like you're holding a damn cinder block. It's the most god-awful looking thing I've ever seen. I freaking hate the sound of them saws. I hate them. And that's all anybody wants to use. I refuse. I'm not using that damn thing. Like, I have my little pistol one right here that I use every once in a while. And even when I use it, I'm like, ugh, like, and most of the YouTubers that I watch and that I enjoy have all moved to using battery powered chainsaws, and they sound like shit. I hate them. Like, it reminds me of like a mosquito buzzing in my ear. I don't like it. So, I hate anything battery. Sweet. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, yeah. I'm not a fan, man. But yeah, Jake got one of the Milwaukee saws. It's got 2 big, humongous batteries attached to it. It's a back handle. Seems to cut good. But, you want to know what Jake's complaint was? His complaint was what is the last complaint that should ever be made about that damn thing. I think it's absolutely stupid when you make a product and you make me go buy a battery, a special battery for that product that I have to put in. And it weighs, it's like a block of concrete or steel that I'm taking, like wrought iron, and shoving in there and just, you look at the saw, you're like, oh yeah, these things are pretty light. Stick that stupid ass battery into it, and it's like taking a 50-pound dumbbell and like putting it in there. So, I don't like doing that. So Milwaukee says, hey, hold my beer. Put 2 of them in it. No, we're not doing this. Like, you guys got to stop right now. Jake uses it, and his only issue with it is that it doesn't have good battery life? What? Yeah, and Jake said it's stupid heavy. But the batteries died. They made at most 20 cuts. 15, maybe 20 cuts. If that. That's it. And you have what looks to be 1,000 pounds in lithium batteries. And it lasts like, if you would have been sitting there just running it, like, I don't know, maybe it was used for 10 minutes. So, yeah, Milwaukee, no, that's not gonna cut it. Just don't buy them things. Like, you know what? I get more battery time out of this thing than Jake got out of out of his. So, yeah. This thing comes in handy when I just need to cut something real small. But yeah. See. Oh, I still got 2 batteries. I've been using this thing for a week. Jake used his for 10 minutes. And it went dead, so. But I gotta give it credit. Like, it seemed like it cut when it cut, but yeah. Yeah, JC, I swear that's what they said. They're like, oh, you think those things are stupid? Like, hang on, I can make one look way stupider. Let's put another one of them god-awful ugly batteries on it. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'm not buying it, so. I will probably buy one of those. Yeah, me too. You know what's funny is I'm probably, like, it's more affordable. They're more affordable than any other battery powered saw. So I that has what someone would need. In my opinion, an underpowered chainsaw with bad throttle response is one of the most dangerous things in the world. So these people that are okay with these weak chainsaws, those are the people that ended up doing stuff that barber chairs, that breaks, so having that power and knowing how to use it are 2 different things, but It, in my opinion, needs to be there. And most battery powered things don't have that power. They don't have that torque that it needs to get the job done. But I think Milwaukee has figured it out as far as battery powered stuff goes. But battery life is going to be the yeah, it's gonna be the downfall. Like it's the thing that they need to focus all their like issues with it. They've covered so many things that other ones couldn't. They got to go there. Their price though is always much better than anyone else. You can buy that little top handle battery powered Milwaukee, the M18 or something like that, and I think it's pretty affordable. You get the the chainsaw, the batteries, the charger. Try to go buy one. Like I'm not gonna from Husqvarna's stupid ass. I can't talk bad about steel. That's sacrilegious for me. But go try to buy one from any of the other big companies and see that you're gonna spend on the saw what you would spend on all of it in a package from like Milwaukee. You know, so Husqvarna, you're gonna. I think it's like $1,400 what you end up spending to do the Husqvarna top handle. So I think the M80 is like 400, and you get everything. The Husqvarna, you gotta buy the saw, then you gotta buy the battery, then you gotta buy the charger. That's like, and then you gotta buy the bigger batteries because if you bought a battery it wasn't big enough, they always coming out with something new. Even that little saw, they tried to say like they don't have all the specs because new things may be invented for it. You ain't inventing nothing else new. Maybe give me a bigger battery. But guys, I never gave a damn what the other guy runs. Yeah. Besides my local dealer sucks. That's awesome. I love steel, can't complain. Me too. First generation. That's what I've built a trust in it. And like it is a very solid relationship that I have with that product. So I back it 100%, and I'm ready to I mean we can. Uh, I can't hang out with you if you use anything else. So that's just that. Hey, them's the rules, guys. I've wasted enough of your time. I want to let you know I appreciate you joining me for another live feed. These are always a blast. Ken, thanks for hanging out, brother. I really appreciate you being here. First Gen, Ground Pounder, all the guys that we've seen. Jay stopped in. You know, you guys, I appreciate you being here. Hey, has anybody heard from Billy? No, Ground Pounder. I was for sure gonna put you in there. I just was trying to name as many of them as. Yeah, I just thought about that. I haven't heard from Billy in a while. I don't know if I have his number. Man, guys, shoot Billy a prayer. Or if you know Billy, check in with him. Like I just want to make sure he's doing good. Haven't heard from him, and man, he's always here, no matter what. So yeah, let's keep an eye out for Bill. Hopefully he's doing good. Guys, I think you won't hear from me until next year. So luckily that's only like a day or so away. So I'll catch you in 2025. Thanks for making 2024 a good time. Yeah, if you could check on him, Ground Pounder, I appreciate it, brother. Let's just make sure he's doing good. Be safe. Enjoy your New Year's, guys. But just be safe. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thanks for always giving me your time and attention. I appreciate you guys. And we'll do it again in 25. See ya.